Okay, so I just thought I could show you how I do the old Norwegian cast on for my mittens. So I'm knitting a different mitten pattern, so I'm going to need more stitches, but it's going to have the same techniques. So I just thought I'd take this opportunity to show you how I do this. And you need a tail for this. It's like the long tail cast on, so you can just estimate it, or you could try to maybe get around your hand 4 times or 6 maybe, because you obviously want some ease. So I'm just going to assume that this is long enough. We've got a fairly big chunk and then some extra, just to be safe. And then you tie a slip knot, and I'm going to get my needles. I apologize in advance for all the clunky noises these needles might make in this tutorial. So we've got our slip knot on. And now we need to get the slingshot position, and we do it like this. So I'm just holding the yarn here, and I got the yarn tail over my thumb and the working yarn over my index finger like this. And then I make this sort of loop around my thumb here. So I go under and I pull this end of the loop down, and then I go under here and I pull this through this little loop I've created here like this. Then I just let go, and then we have a stitch. We have 2 because we also have the slip knot. And we do this again. Still hold it in the same position, and we go under the loop that the thumb is created and pull this end down so that we have created a new loop here, which we pull this yarn through here like this. Terribly sorry there's nail polish everywhere here today. That's just how we're rolling. So let's do it a bit faster. Under, down, this one, through. Okay. So again, we have this thing, this loop around the thumb, go under, pull this side down, so we created a loop. Can you see that? And we pull this yarn through. And so the advantage of this technique is it's more flexible than the usual long tail cast on. Downside is that it tends to untwist the ply. So to fix that, just like let go after a few stitches and kind of just loosen up the thread, twist it back a little. Your end won't be so long that it's going to be a huge issue. It's just something to be aware of, and you're going to notice when that happens. It's not something that's super crazy. So yeah, just keep doing this now. Go under, through, and through here. And you catch speed when you do this. You will actually, I find that the learning curve for this is quite like steep. First it's like, oh god, I don't know, I don't understand. Then suddenly you find yourself being able to do it really quickly. So I highly suggest doing this. I can just show you how it looks like up close. So it doesn't look awfully different to the long tail cast on, but it offers great flexibility. So yeah, good luck with that. Okay, so I have just finished my cast on now, so you can see. I got 60 stitches. Your pattern probably, if you're knitting my mitten pattern, you're just going to need 40, I think. Pattern should tell you that. I just want to give you another close-up. It's really difficult to get the focus going here, so hopefully you can see this, and it's just looking nice. And so now you need to join in around it. And I'm doing this on magic loop, so what I prefer is just to split them in the middle, like this. Pull out the loop. And trying to get these parallel. Make sure there are no twists. So this is no twist here. Okay, that's good. Probably gonna have to do this a few times. It's just how it is. So from here, I kind of like to give these, like, let them stay on the needle. So we got about, what, 5? So do this and pull the loop again here. So you've got 2 loops. This is easier to do if you already got these up on the needle. I'm gonna do that now because these are the stitches we're gonna knit from. Oh, they're a bit tough. I cast them terribly tightly. Don't do what I do. It's awful. So it should be in position now. So there are no twists here. This is all like, it's aligned. If you find that you get a twist anyway, then you know you could just change that in the next round. That's not going to show too much. And we have a very long tail here, so it's very easy to confuse this tail with your working yarn. Don't do that, because that tail is going to run short very soon. This is our working yarn right here. So I'm going to do for this pattern, and I think that's true for my pattern as well, to do a 1 by 1 rib. So you start off, and this is me doing Continental style, you guys. Go in under here, yarn over with my finger and go through. It's a bit fiddly in the beginning, that's just how it is. So that's one stitch, it's joined, that's how you join the round, that's it, you can knit in around the yarn now. It's literally nothing else to it. So now we purl. Okay, I'm going to show you this in a bit more detail once we are further in on the needle, because it's just so fiddly in the beginning. Okay, we have 4 stitches now, that's good. So let's do this a bit slower. I don't know about you, I kind of like that approach. First see it how it's done and then see it slow motion. So, okay, we're doing slow motion. Go in under here, just like you do, except you might take the thread, the strand from this side, go under. I never let it go, so I just go right under here and pull this through. Yeah, and then take this in the front, and then we go in pairwise. Oh, it's difficult to see through the lens. Pairwise, not through the yarn. There we are, and we go under here, pull this bit through. This is not the best tutorial for continental knitting. There will be better ones out there. I just kind of want to show you this whole thing in one set. So knit, yarn front, and purl. So my fingers in the way here. I'll do this again. Knit. Oh, that was a tight one. Knit and purl. It's really difficult to show you without actually having my fingers in the way, because they do kind of act in the front. So try this again. Trying to get the purlwise here. It's difficult when it's the first round because it's just so tight. So under here, can you see that? I'm pulling it through like this. So I'm just going to do this throughout, and I believe that's for 2 rounds, so you just do that as well. And after that you start with a chart, which you read from the bottom right, and that's kind of what you need to do. And if you need more help, you will find that in the written instructions. Okay, so I've knit almost a round of knit 1 purl 1, and I want to check that it's not twisted now. It looks like it might be. I don't think, no, it's not. Oh, that's good. So I want to just get these few stitches back on this needle that I just knitted. I like that. It avoids laddering and any gaps or anything. So I always just put these back on and then knit with the next stitches. So now I'm sorry, my phone just decided to interrupt us. So now I want to continue knitting from here. And I'm sorry, the focus is living its own life. It doesn't know what we're doing today, does it? So here we are, ready to continue around. So purl. I'm just gonna speed up this, if that's alright. If you need a better video on how to knit and purl Continental, I could, or you can find them yourself. There is another way to purl actually, which is you might get some more speed just doing it this way. So the yarn is still at the back. You go behind it, you go in purlwise, and you go back. You go under here and you pull it through this way. Oh, I got caught up in another thread. Okay, try this again. Under, back, pull it through like this. Again, better tutorials for this online, but it should give you an idea. And now we're on the second round. Let's do this again, because you don't actually have to go back and forth with the yarn. You can just go back like this. And under and through. This is not the easiest yarn to show it in. I'm awfully sorry. Fingering weight yarn, hopefully you're working on your DK weight yarns and that will be a bit better. So I'm going to try this one more time. I'd bring it in front, do that automatically now, sorry. It's a habit for me. I kind of wish people had taught me this method from the beginning. I'd probably just do that and do that quicker now. And I keep going through the strands. It's a very splitty yarn, this, which is fine. It's just not good for tutorials. So just keep doing that for another round. And it's just, yeah, if you had twisted after first round, it's sort of redeemable here because you just have this one strand. So if that gets sort of twisted back, it's not a huge issue. And it could happen to anyone. Sorry, the light conditions keeps changing here. So I made almost 2 rounds now. And as you'll see, this join now for the front, for the beginning of the round is moving. It's getting skewed when I always take some stitches off on the next needle. If you like having, you know, a set of stitches for the front of the mitten and a set of stitches for the back of the needle, this is no good. If you don't care, if you feel confident about where you are in your mitten, it's very helpful to avoid laddering. But you might not have that issue in the first place, so, you know, completely optional and possibly confusing. So just gonna finish this round, and now we continue to knitting around. So if you found it annoying to knit and purl Continental, if you're not used to that, it's fine if you do the knit and purl in your way of knitting, in your style. And now is a good time to practice Continental before you get to the color work, because now you just do a plain round of stocking knit, just one round. And yeah, just if you hate this tutorial, plenty of good Continental tutorials out there, and you just do that for the number of stitches that you have in the round. And that's way easier than to just say, okay, now it's the color work, now I'm going to do Continental, because it's 2 new things at once maybe, and that can be really annoying. Okay, so I'm making it towards the end of my round, trying to get the tail out of the way again. And what we do when you're at the end of the round, I am following a different chart than you guys, by the way. I'm doing different mittens entirely. I just thought I'd take this opportunity to film this for you. So in this pattern, it's 2 stitches of contrast color, 2 stitches of main color. And I think that's how I did my pattern as well. It's quite standard, but just in case, check your chart. So I do this. I should have shown you this. I keep doing it right away, sorry. So I just hold this with the needle here. That seems to give it like is sort of good enough tension. You might have to adjust it later, but you can just pull it. It's fine. So I go under, and I go under this, and I go under, and I go under. Now people say you should actually keep your contrast color on this side, so it should always be on the left to make it pop. I never get that popping effect. They are pretty much the same for me. I don't know why other people get that effect. But let's just stick to the rules for this one. So now we do main color, and this comes with practice, you guys. Please don't beat yourself up just because it's really difficult first times around. In the beginning I was just kind of like, oh god, I can only hold one strand at a time, so I kept having this one, knit 2, second one, just this one, knit 2, so on. That was how I started color work, and then eventually I was able to hold them both over one finger at the same time, and it got more fluent. And just don't rush it, like just try see what's comfortable for you. Maybe you don't even like knitting Continental color work. Maybe you like having one Continental yarn and the other one you throw. And you just use the method for the color that you use the most, so use the main color the most. So if you're more comfortable with throwing, just do that. Almost dropped this stitch. So yeah, you just throw with the main color. If you're more comfortable with Continental, but you can do throwing, then do Continental with the main color. So I'm just going to continue this way throughout the round, and that's how you do it. And I think I'm going to conclude this part of the tutorial here, except for the clunky sounds. So this is what we've got so far. Got 2 rows of 1 by 1 rib, 1 round of stocking net, and then we started on the color work. And all these ends, you just weave them in later, unless you want to do it now. I mean, fair enough. This one's better to tug a bit when you get to the other round though, because you obviously pull it a bit when you knit through that stitch again. So yeah, I will see you when we get to the thumb.